It's time to see if Marvel can still keep things fresh after so many years. I'm Tommy Bowyer from Movie Rewind, and without further ado, let's get into it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was released in 2021. It was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and honestly, it is probably the Marvel film I knew least about before going in to see it. I had absolutely no idea who the hero was, I hadn't seen any of the trailers, and honestly, I didn't really care about this film a lot before I went to see it. I just thought it was going to be another by-the-numbers Marvel origin film, which had a hero who I weren't exactly invested in. However, having seen it, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. It has some really strong action scenes, and the storyline was very interesting. It's not the best Marvel film ever, no way near. Although I really enjoyed this film, I'm going to give some brief details about why I thought this film was not that bad, and why it shows that Marvel can still keep things fresh after over 12 years. Shang-Chi is developed really well in this film. I really enjoy the character arc he goes on and how he goes from just being a normal guy into being a superhero. I think that's really well done. Honestly, the friendship between him and his friend Katie, in my personal opinion, carries this film. There are so many funny moments between them two. They have really good chemistry together, and in my opinion, they make this film what it is. The main villain, the Mandarin, I enjoy this villain. I wish we had seen more of him. I don't honestly feel like he gets enough screen time. However, you understand what his motives are and what's driving him, so that's a really good thing for a villain to have. Shang-Chi's sister, I think, is personally in the background a lot of this film. I would have liked to have seen more of her character get developed. At some points, she does come across as a bit one-dimensional, which is not a great thing, so honestly I would have liked to have seen more of her. However, overall, the majority of the main characters get the appropriate development they need. You understand who these characters are and why they are doing what they're doing, and that is why character development gets a well-deserved 8 out of 10, because for the most part, the characters were developed well. Simu Liu gives a very layered performance as Shang-Chi. I hadn't seen this actor in any film before, however, having seen this film, I would say that he was perfectly cast for the role. He does a really good job in this film. Awkwafina as his friend Katie. She has so many funny moments in this film, and honestly, I would say that she is more the standout for me than the actor who portrayed Shang-Chi is, because she just does a really good job. Leung as the Mandarin, the main villain, I think he's really good. He has a very intimidating performance. However, there is some layered depth to his character there, which I think is a merit for the actor. I just wish that he had more screen time, so then he could have had a more chance to showcase his acting abilities. And the funniest performance in this film, Benedict Wong as Wong. He's just amazing. He is one of my favourite MCU characters, and every time he appears in this film, even though he doesn't appear in them very long, I would say there's some of the best moments in this film. So we need more of Benedict Wong, because he is just fantastic. So overall, I would give the performances a 9 out of 10, because honestly, none of them are really bad. They all are very good in the roles they were cast in. The effects are of high quality. You can't really fault a Marvel film on its effects. All the CGI holds up really well. The action scenes in this film, all of the kung fu stuff and martial arts stuff, I actually really enjoyed. It was so fresh to see a different kind of fighting style being used in a Marvel film. If I had to point out an action scene in this film which I really enjoyed, it's when Shang-Chi is fighting on the side of a building. That is actually a really intense scene which kept me on the edge of my seat, so that would be my top pick for the action scene in Shang-Chi. Overall, the effects are really strong. They hold up very well, so I'm going to give the effects a 10 out of 10 because I have no complaints about them. They're all really well done. The story of this film, for the most part, is well paced and keeps you invested. It is the characters, in my opinion, which carry this film. And as I've said, the relationship between Shang-Chi and Katie is one of the highlights in this film. The action scenes are very well done. They are intense. They keep you on the edge of your seat, and that's a great thing. However, my one complaint about the story of this film is the third act. I feel it goes a bit slower in the third act. Plus, the final action scene, while it is strong, it comes across as just a massive CGI battle, which, let's be honest, that was a criticism a lot of DC films have, that they just have a massive CGI battle. It stands out in this film because a lot of the martial art action scenes that occur earlier in the film are done really well, and a lot of them are done with practical effects. So this third act, big, massive CGI battle really does stand out to me. And there was a couple of points during that final battle I was looking at my watch, which is not a great thing. That shows that I've not been kept invested in the film. So overall, the story and writing, I think it is strong. It is well paced for the most part. It is witty, it is funny, it is action-packed. However, in my personal opinion, it is the third act which lets this film down a little bit. So overall, I would give the story and writing an 8 out of 10 because for the most part, it was good, but it could have been a tiny bit better. So for this film's special recognition, it's got to be about how surprised I was that this film was good. As I said, it's my own stupid fault. I was not looking forward to this film. I just thought it was going to be another bog standard Marvel Origins film, and that it weren't going to actually get me excited or keep me invested. My God, this film shows that I am pretty much an idiot. I was kept invested throughout this film. I really enjoy Shang-Chi as a hero. I look forward to seeing more of him. I like that this film was something different. The fact that it's set in a primarily Asian background, I think is really well done. As I said, I like the martial art fighting scenes. It was something different that Marvel haven't given us before, so I really enjoyed that. Plus, this film, I don't know, something about it just felt really fresh and appealing, and it highlights that Marvel can still surprise us after this many years. So overall, I'm going to give the special recognition of this film an 8 out of 10 for the simple reason I was pleasantly surprised by this film. It was very strong and I really enjoyed it. So in conclusion, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings has likeable characters, strong performances, amazing martial art action scenes, and for the most part a very well paced plot. The only complaint I would have about this film is the fact that the final battle scene is heavily reliant on CGI and sometimes it does get a bit dull. Overall though, I would give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings a well-deserved 42 out of 50, which gives it a grade 2 ranking. I really enjoyed this film. I'm definitely going to purchase it on Blu-ray and I'm looking forward to seeing this character in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed my Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future. And I will see you in another one. See ya!